welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Rachel and I just took my very first LSAT. For the past few months, I have been vlogging and keeping track of my studying journey, and on July 15th, I took my very first test and I vlogged that for you guys as well. That video is up on my channel, so you should definitely go check it out. But now I am back. It's been, like I said, it's been like 2 weeks since I have taken the test, studied, done anything, and I'm ready to get going. I did get my scores back yesterday, but like I've said in previous videos, I am still going to be preparing and taking the August test just in case to see how we do and see if we can improve our score. Throughout this whole process, I've been really like upfront and honest with you guys about my feelings, how I'm doing with the studying, when I study, when I don't, stuff like that. So I feel like it's only right that I share with you guys what I actually got on the test. I know if I was watching this, I would want to know, because that's kind of the whole point of this video series that I've been making, is to see how my studying habits and the techniques that I used paid off for me. So as a recap, I got a 153 on my first diagnostic test last September or October, whenever I took that. That was my first time looking at anything that has to do with the LSAT. No studying whatsoever, no reading about anything, just straight taking it. I got a 153. And 2 weeks ago, on my first LSAT, I got a 160. I am super happy with the 160. I was consistently performing right around a 160 on my last few practice tests that I did, so I was pretty confident that I would get a 160 on test day. But you never know what happens. I was talking to friends at work yesterday and I feel like I kind of blacked out during the last 5 minutes of my exam. If you saw my test day vlog, I talked about having some timing issues on one section, and I really cannot remember if I was just like blindly answering questions and like trying to choose answers, or if I was like really trying, like reading and like trying to comprehend them the best I could in like the limited time that I had left. But either way, it all worked out in the end. I got a 160, which is a really good score, I think. It's good for me. It's gonna help me like start looking and narrowing down schools, but I do still want to take this August test that's in 6 weeks. I think it's the 14th, because I just want to see, you know, can I get higher than a 160? Even just a few points to get actually into the 160s would make me feel really awesome, but don't let that take away from how proud I am to have gotten a 160. I'm super pumped about it. And yeah, so with that, we are going to get into today's video. The first thing I need to do is actually register for the August exam. Registration ends tomorrow, and I have not signed up yet because I was waiting until I got my scores back to like make my final decision. I was going back and forth yesterday about whether or not I was going to take it again, because I was like, 160 is good, but like I could get higher possibly. So I decided full send, just take it again. Worst that happens is I get the same score. Maybe I do worse, but I don't think I would do worse. So we're just gonna do it again. So that's the first thing, register for the test. And the second thing is to start studying. I have not picked up a book, opened Khan Academy, barely opened my laptop even really since taking the test, because I just needed some time to decompress. I was visiting with family, my sister graduated high school, there's just a lot of stuff going on, and I was like, I just need to take a step back from the LSAT, come back refreshed, ready to go. So that's what we're doing today, and we are going to be starting with logical reasoning. It's been a hot minute since I pulled this out. I'm still not done yet. This bookmark is wrong. I don't know. Oh, here's the bookmark. We left off on chapter 15, flaw in the reasoning questions, and so I'm going to be working through this chapter today and also working on that cheat sheet that I started a few weeks ago. I think it was like probably like beginning of May when I started that sheet, honestly. Maybe end of May. I don't remember really when it was. It was definitely the end of May. But regardless of when it was, I'm going to continue working on that, add to it today. I know I had someone comment about me linking the sheet, setting that up for you guys. I will do that. I will find a way to do that once it's done. So not yet. As you can see, I still got a good chunk of this book left to go, and then I'll probably go back, read through the sheet, edit it, make sure it's in tip-top shape, and then I can share that with you guys. So just keep an eye out in future videos to see when that'll be, and make sure you're always checking the description because that's where it'll be linked. But anyway, I've been talking for a long time, so let's go ahead and get into studying for today. Okay, I have no idea how long it's been because my phone is behind me, but I just finished reading the chapter. It just basically broke down a bunch of different types of errors that test makers generally use within flaw and reasoning questions. And it talked about each one in detail and what possible answer choices for that error would look like. And so after reading through all of those, it has 8 practice problems that I'm going to work through, and then I will start the cheat sheet for this chapter. I probably won't finish it today because I have to go to work in a little while, but I'm going to go ahead and do the practice problems. Alright, so I did those questions. I only got 4 right, so I got 4 right, 4 wrong. Not as good as I hoped to do, and not as good as I thought I would do after reading the chapter, but it just goes to show you that not everything comes to you right away. So I'm definitely gonna be doing some work with this kind of stuff and reviewing it as I put it into the cheat sheet, and hopefully going forward we get a little better. So I accidentally didn't study for 4 or 5 days again. Oops. We're moving past it. It is Tuesday, July 6th. It's like 11:30 a.m. I just spent about an hour finishing the flaw in the reasoning section of the cheat sheet, and it is almost 3 pages long. It's so long because there's so many like subsections of errors, and then each error has its own definition and like example correct answers, because the whole thing with flaw in the reasoning questions is that if you either see that there's a flaw in the reasoning when you read the stimulus, which is great, or you read the question stem and it says find the flaw in the reasoning, then you should be able to pick out the type of error that's in the stimulus and then know what answer you're looking for in the correct choices, which helps you get the right answer. I don't know if I went over that the other day when I read the chapter, but that's what it is, and so that's what I was working on. So I will show you guys what it looks like. But now that I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the next chapter. I think it's chapter 16. Let's see. Chapter 16, parallel reasoning questions. So let me show you this quick, and then I'm going to get to reading. This one doesn't look very long. Alright, so here's where it starts. And it goes down 1 page, 2 pages, and more than half of this last page. There's definitely a lot of information on there, but it's all good information, so it's good to have, and I'm gonna go ahead and get reading now. Alright, that was a pretty difficult chapter. It took about 30 minutes to read. There was a few like practice problems within the chapter with like, you know, the long explanations, and it talked about different methods you can use to find your right answers. Definitely good info and stuff I didn't know before when I was doing like practice problems and practice tests. So I'm glad I have this in my arsenal now, but definitely gonna need some more review with this and a lot more practice. One of the things I wanted to point out when I was reading this, it like stuck out to me, is what I wanted to share with you guys. I just have to find it. It was that when you're doing parallel reasoning questions, the wording doesn't, or not the wording, because the wording does generally match. There's at least like one word that'll match. Not always, but most of the time. But what doesn't have to match is the order of the premises and conclusions, because in the past when I was doing parallel reasoning questions, I was always looking for like, you know, if it had 2 premises and then a conclusion, I was always searching the answers for like exactly 2 premises and then a conclusion in my correct answer and in that order. And then when I didn't find that, I would get super like stressed and like worked up, because I was like, that's what it has to be. Like that's what the stimulus was, so that's what the answer has to be. But that's not true. The answer choice can have a different I don't want to say a different structure, but the premise and conclusion can be in a different order than in the stimulus. So if you have 2 premises and a conclusion, you can have the conclusion first and then your premises. You can have 1 premise and then a conclusion and then the other, or it could be in the same order. It just doesn't have to be, and that's always a good thing to remember. And like that shouldn't be what you go to first when you're reading your answer choices. Instead, what you want to be focusing on is the actual method of reasoning, the validity of the argument, the conclusion itself, and the premises themselves, or itself if there's only one. And like with the conclusion and the premises, you're focusing on the wording, and like if there's a phrase that's like exactly the same, then that could be your correct answer. So yeah, there's a lot more information in the chapter than that, but that was like my quick synopsis review for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and do the 4 practice problems at the end of the chapter, and then I'm gonna call it a day. I gotta get ready for work. Not a ton of content today, but I will see you guys tomorrow. I have off, so we'll continue through this book. You guys, I am literally the worst. It is currently a Friday morning, and I lost talk to you guys on Tuesday, and I just don't know why I keep doing this, where I say I'm gonna study, and then like days go by, and I don't study, I don't talk to you guys. Like, it's getting so frustrating, but I just want you guys to know that not everybody can study all day, every day, like for weeks, and like study. Now for some people, that's how they prepare for the LSAT. It works great for them. Super awesome for you, but for me, that is just not realistic. So we're just going with it, although it's not ideal for me to, you know, study once every 4 days. It's just kind of where we're at right now, and I'm doing my best to push through it. I definitely lost a lot of motivation taking like 2.5 weeks off after the test. So I wouldn't recommend you do that if you are in similar shoes to mine, because it's just hard to get back into it. And like, now I've been studying for so long, like over the past however many months, that like, I don't want to do it anymore. Like, I'm just ready to be done with the LSAT. So I am trying to push through it these last few weeks and take this last test, but it's definitely been difficult, which I'm sure you could assume by seeing how often I'm studying and how many days are between each session and how long it's taking me to upload this video. I was going to upload this video within a week of getting my score back, and I got my score back almost a week and a half ago. So as of today, when you see this video, I have no idea how many days it'll have been. I'll probably upload it by like Monday, I'm hoping. I'll study one more time this weekend. I think I have to work both of my jobs tomorrow, so I don't know if I'll study tomorrow, but I'll study on Sunday and then hopefully get this uploaded, because I want you guys to know how I did, and I want you to see the progress we've been making. But regardless of all of that, I'm gonna go ahead and get studying for today. We're gonna continue on the same path and do the cheat sheet for parallel reasoning, which is what we read on Tuesday. I do have plans in an hour, per usual, so we're not gonna read chapter 17 because that'll probably take too long. Yeah, I'm assuming I won't have time to read chapter 17. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the cheat sheet. If anything changes, I'll let you know, but I will show you the cheat sheet once I'm all set. This one actually was super quick. It was a lot less than I thought it was gonna be, probably because it's been 3 days since I read this section. But yeah, here we go. I've just got, you know, definition, a little like 2 steps to solving it, what to look for, and this goes in like the order that the book suggests. It doesn't say there like is a definite way to solve it, but it does say like if you need a definite, like this is more important, then this is it, but it's all going to depend on the problem that you have. And then the last little section I have is just some notes and tips that were like random sentences throughout the book. So yeah, that's it for today, and I will see you guys very soon, I promise, maybe even later today, to read chapter 17. And I'll let you know what that is when I read it. And we're back for round 2 today. It is still Friday. Super proud of myself that I'm getting some more studying in. It's like 6 p.m. I just got home. We went to see the new Black Widow movie this afternoon, so that's what I was doing for most of the day, and like just hanging out, whatever. But I'm back home. We're in the kitchen now that it's not 1,000 degrees. I can actually leave my bedroom and exist in the rest of my house. So I'm sitting here. We're going to read chapter 17, which I didn't tell you earlier, but it is called Numbers and Percentages. I think it kind of like talked about this question or this chapter. I'm like all over the place right now. It talked about this chapter earlier in some of the other chapters, talking about how they'd have a whole section devoted to just like numbers and percentages within logical reasoning questions, and like how to tackle those specifically regardless of the type of question. So I'm assuming that's what it's going to be, but I'll know more as we get into it. And of course, I will keep you guys updated. And then after that, we've only got 3 chapters left. So we are getting super duper close to this book being all done. And I can't wait for it because I wanted to have it done a long time ago. I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay, almost 30 minutes later, and I have finished this chapter with the exception of the 4 practice problems at the end. So once I do that, it'll be it for the night. But just to review with you guys a little bit, basically this chapter just talked about some like common misconceptions with numerical questions and like percentage questions, and then just some helpful tips and stuff. To do a quick little review with you guys, I'm gonna go over the 6 misconceptions that I outlined in this chapter for number and percentage questions. The first 2 go together. They say that increasing percentages automatically lead to increasing numbers, and vice versa, that decreasing percentages will decrease numbers. The second 2 go together as well. They say that increasing numbers will automatically lead to increasing percentages, and again, decreasing numbers automatically lead to decreasing percentages. The 5th one is that large numbers automatically mean large percentages, and that small numbers automatically mean small percentages. And the last misconception is that large percentages and small percentages automatically mean large numbers and small numbers, respectively. So if you want to know more about what those mean, or like what I mean by saying those, definitely go ahead and read the chapter. I don't want to go ahead and like say the wrong thing or anything, and also you guys should be studying if you need to know this stuff because it's important. So anyway, I'm going to leave you guys for tonight, and I will see you one more time before the end of this video. Good morning, everybody. I told you would see me one more time. It is Sunday morning, and I know I've kind of been doing the same exact thing every day in this video, but that's just kind of the point I'm at right now. I really want to get this logical reasoning book done, so I'm going to do the same thing today. I'm going to go ahead and work on the cheat sheet for the chapter I did on Friday, the numbers and percentages, and then I'm going to go ahead and read chapter 18. It is super short, and it's all about evaluate the argument questions, and I'm probably going to push myself to do chapter 19 as well because that looks super short too. They're each only like 10 pages, and chapter 19 is cannot be true questions. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this, and I will touch back with you guys in a little bit. All right, it only took 45 minutes to get all 3 of those things done. Each of these 2 chapters that I read, 18 and 19, only had 2 questions at the end of them as the problem set because they're just not frequently seen questions, so we didn't have to have like a huge problem set. For both of them, I think I got both the questions right on both chapters, so that was awesome. The chapters were pretty simple. The evaluate the argument questions were kind of interesting because those definitely are tough questions when you come across them, but it gave a really good test on how to help find the right answer when you're attacking those problems, and they call it the variance test. And that's, you know, trademarked by Power School. That's not something I came up with. Or what did I just say? Did I just say Power School? I meant Power Score. Oops. I'm exhausted, if you can tell. But anyway, super good chapters. I'm going to outline them probably in a little while on my cheat sheet, and then I'll call it a day. And with that, we are at the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for sticking around with me through this mess of a vlog. I really don't even know what footage I have or how much rambling and stuff I'm gonna have to cut out of this. But regardless, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. Definitely subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my videos and see the rest of this second half of the studying journey. We have a little over a month until test day, round 2. And I am going to vlog it. I promise the next video will be up much sooner than this video got up. I hope you enjoyed finding out what I got. It was exciting to see like how this studying has paid off and what, you know, how it went, but of course we're not done yet. So anyways, I will see you guys in my next video, and I hope you have a great day.